understanding your gifts and being able to just blindly have the hope that your gifts are meant to serve. And if you put yourself in a position where you're meant to serve, everything else will align. It will manifest because you are meant to be doing what you need to do. I feel that the price to pay is the consistency, because to be able to like move from a country to another one and then trying to be you is something that maybe the dimension that you open, like that new universe that you open, you feel that you need to do what usually is Calgary lifestyle to be able to understand it. But then because you have other gifts, if you decide to nurture them, then that pathway, it needs consistency because nobody know you before doing that.
What is the term for a short summary of who you are and what you do, which is used to spark interest from a potential client?
Caballo?
Was that? No.
What it is?
It's an elevator pitch.
An elevator pitch.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Hey guys, we need to talk. A lot of you watch this channel and yet to subscribe to the channel. So please do me a favor and check that you're subscribed to the channel. It goes a long way in helping us. The team is working tirelessly behind the scenes to bring you the best conversations, to bring you this quality of production. And the only way we can improve that is to keep increasing our numbers. I also have a KPI before the end of this year to get to 10,000 subscribers. So please help us to get to that goal. But before we go, my co-producer has a word for you. Abby.
Hi, Mo.
Hi, what's up?
Good. Okay. Guys, you heard what he said. Please subscribe to our channel, help us grow, and we promise you to bring the best conversations.
So let's jump into the episode, and I hope you enjoy it. All right? Great.
Edward, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really good, Mo.
Yeah.
Very excited to be here with you and connect, share a little bit of life.
Exactly.
Yeah, and have fun.
Yeah, same. I'm really excited to have you on the podcast. I think you make such a great guest because naturally you're creative. You also do a number of things like myself. And I remember seeing you at the game show we had, but I didn't know you then. And I was also focused on getting the event going at that point. But I think a friend of mine mentioned that, oh, there's someone called Edward. I think you should reach out to him. And that was Pat, first of all. You know Pat, right?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I'm happy that you're finally here. And I think that we have a lot to talk about. Your work, also being an immigrant in Canada. I think that's a huge one. I think people will be keen to know a bit about your story. I don't know if you've really come out to tell your story in any way. Or
Bits and pieces.
Bits and pieces, right.
I been blessed in being in different rooms.
Right.
In between the journey of being a designer and being a dancer, and by fulfilling this purpose, then eventually that takes me a little bit into narrating a little bit of the story that hopefully creates an impact in others that feel that they are probably in the same walk that I'm having.
I want us to start from the very beginning, right? Because obviously we all moved here at some point. I wasn't born here. I don't know, maybe you were born here. But I know you mentioned like you moved here at some point. So can you just walk me through that journey of relocating from, was it Panama?
Yeah.
You said, right? So moving down from Panama to Calgary, what was that journey like for you?
Well, it was a very interesting chapter of in my life, like a milestone.
Right.
Living in Panama, and I moved here in 2014 when I probably was around like 28 or 9 or something. I already was designing in Panama, living my creative life over there, same as a dancer too.
Mm.
And it happens that I took a break from working on agencies, and I tried to lean a little bit deeper into my dance. And I ended up going to Costa Rica to judge a competition, and I met somebody special, and that relationship with that person, which was an amazing experience for me to have in terms of love and uh, sharing human connection, took me into coming to Canada. I came here by being engaged with that person because we live a little bit in Panama together.
Okay.
Shout out to Kat, love her a lot. But we got married here, and we had 6 years together. And then our relationship bifurcated. We separated, and then I decided to stay and put a little bit more seats into my own personal life. Just before COVID, that was 2018. Yeah, that's kind of like how I end up coming into Calgary. It's because of love.
Oh, okay, that took me where I didn't expect. I didn't see that coming. That's interesting. Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay, there's a part of that we'll come back to. What was the journey of your settling down into Canada like?
That's a big question.
Is it?
When I just arrived, I got all the kind of like the cultural shock, right? Of like
of
the
course.
weather.
Right.
The one biggest thing is the weather.
It is the weather.
Coming from a hot country that is like 32 to like a minus 40.
Exactly.
Being able to like thrive in the weather too for me was a quest. Like I started doing first because I could not work too much. My partner was working on that time a lot for me to be here to make that commitment of growth together. So while she was doing all this work and we were living through the paperwork and the fluctuation of the paperwork with the government structures and laws in that time, I could not do too much work. And I was very afraid to do under the table work as well. So I decided not to. So the only thing I could do was dance. So trying to reconnect with myself and try to pursue finding community, I tried to research what were the things that were happening in the city and where I should go if I wanted to meet people. So it took me a year. It took me a year to like make that choice because I was first putting more time into like my personal life. But I realized after a year there was a dance event kind of like a block away from where I was living. So I was living in downtown in 12, and then there's a little red house in Sunalta.
Okay.
And that place is like an epicenter. So many dance events hold in that space.
See.
So I just needed to walk 2 blocks, and I went there, and it was an event called, if I'm not wrong, the Flyest. That is like a 1v1 competition.
Okay.
And I was able to meet, shout out to Unlogic because they were making that competition. I was able to meet the hip hop community, mostly the breakdancing community, breaking community.
Right.
And I stand up there without having, like any friends. And I just, represented myself. And this event was like maybe 3-4 hours or something. So I was able to dance with different people, either in the competition setting and either on the sides. And that day, at least I was able to make some friends.
Right.
So that was one way of making that community connection. Second way in that gap of time is that I was trying to find places where I can go and practice because I didn't have friends. So I was researching which studios I could go, and I could go either to take classes or either go to practice. So I found one called Paul Studios, which is on Center Street. And I remember I wanted to take the bus that day because I didn't know how to take the bus.
Right.
And I tried to take the bus and I failed because I arrived to the bus station when the bus was already leaving.
Oops.
So I'm like, okay, now you gotta walk.
Ooh.
So I walked for probably like an hour.
Damn.
All the way into the place, and I arrived late to the class that I wanted to take. But when I arrived, they told me that they were like a community practice, but usually these community practice are like somebody that stays for an extra hour or 2 hours just to practice, and whoever that comes also can use the space, or you can pay $5 and then you can just practice your own thing.
Okay.
So I arrived to this practice and I met a friend called Aris. And in a second time, I met another friend called Gomo, that they were both training late 9 to 10 p.m. Only person on the room. So I was able to practice with these two souls in different days. But I remember that first day that I went and I walked for an hour, having to put the work into training with this person. That was a quest because that was a lot of my body that I needed to endure from coming on the walking on the winter to then practicing and then walking back
all the way back.
So that taught me a lot of understanding of like the resilience that a lot of people in Calgary have in that sense. And that was my first connection with hip hop culture in the city. That then allowed me to be more connected to the things that were happening in the city. Because as soon as I competed in this time competition, and then I went to practice, some of them they were so kind to be able to text me or pick me up and then take me to practice, either with different crews. So I've been very grateful, and I am very grateful that from those two connections towards to going to competitions and meeting a lot of different crews of the city, I've been able to make a lot of good friends. Being able to go to their homes, they're able to go to mine. We've been able to share life from the craft to meals to hardships and joy. And then now that leads into um, me adding into the city then after a few years of that.
Interesting. Did you have to pay any particular price? Not, I mean, obviously not like pay money, but was there some things that you had to do to get to that level of impact and work?
I feel that the price to pay is the devotion of staying on the lane of the purpose that God gave you. I feel that when I was living in Panama, I did my purpose into the extent of the capability. And then I came to Canada, and then there were opportunities for me to keep doing purpose. So going back to the question that you asked me about, like how many other things I had to do, in a period of my beginning here, by immigrating and then paperwork and all the stuff, when I was ready to work, um, I was able to work a little bit of construction. I was able to work a little bit of like serving on weddings. I was dishwashing for a little bit. But I also understood as a 29-year-old that God have gave me a lot of other gifts that I needed to either think about keep doing them or allowing life to take me where life wants to take me versus me taking ownership of some of the gifts that I already have and see if I can serve. So by continuing pursuing being around my beautiful hip hop community of Calgary, going back again to this studio called Pulse, shout out to Vince, Jill, and Tara. In this space, I was able to grow a lot too by existing, by existing, and also like adding a little bit of what I am. So this studio Pulse, I remember it was owned by Vince, Jill, and right now it's owned by Tara. I did events on Panama. I was telling them about it too. I did events on Panama, and one time I brought a dancer called Tony Styles. Shout out to Tony. And I brought Tony to Panama because I went to Las Vegas and I saw him dancing on a competition, and I was like, wow, like fire. And we decided to bring him to Panama to teach us, because what happened in Panama is that my first community of hip hop and dancers, we were a little bit like segregated. But then during the years, a lot of kids like me on that time, we start trying to put all these pieces of the puzzle into something that connects the culture and the elements of hip hop together, versus being scattered. And we all did that purpose until I had to move to Canada. So by bringing Tony to Panama and he teaches us, we were able to like learn names, and some other dances too that we brought to from United States to Panama. We learned the name of the steps. We learned the context, the cultural context.
Right.
Their story into the culture too, and a lot of these first workshops and conversations becomes a lot of like language that we could use in Panama to be able to keep doing to keep the craft alive
Right.
and keep the culture alive in Panama. When I moved here and I went to that studio called Pulse, I realized that the guy Tony was cousin of Vince.
Was what?
Cousin.
Cousin.
They were cousins.
Really? The
Yeah.
person you invited from US and the person here, they were
And yes.
What?
And I was telling them about like how crazy the universe
That's
is.
crazy.
Because I immigrated to Canada, and then being at Pulse, meeting the owners, then I was having this conversation with my buddy Vince, and I told him about the things that I was doing back in Panama. And then when I mentioned the name Tony Styles, he's like, wait, what?
What?
That's my cousin.
That's
and I'm like,
crazy.
there's no way.
There's no way, man.
And it's so crazy
Wow,
that
that's
after
such powerful.
it is powerful.
What?
And I feel that there's a lot of stories like that that determine the impact of,
Absolutely.
or maybe God telling you that like that's the path that you should keep walking.
Right.
And years after now, with the three of them, had like New Year's last year.
They had what?
Like a New Year celebration.
Okay.
Here. We the three of us.
You did it together. Oh, that's
because
so cool.
That's how
now you've been able to connect
in between the
three.
community.
Oh, that's cool.
And then I also was welcomed by Vince and my first Canadian crew called People's Militia. That is my first Canadian breakdancing crew.
Okay.
Because Vince, my communication with Vince and my brotherhood with Vince took us into this.
Okay.
By being in the community on that sense, competing and doing all the stuff, I was able to have my first job of design because one of my dance crewmates from the same crew called People Militia, called Gabe Wong. Shout out to Gabe. Gabe owns this studio of UX, UI design and branding and strategy called Studio CNG with his wife, Christina. So in my journey of trying to pursue community and meeting people, and now that having a crew that also love me and have my back, Gabe extended me an invitation to work with him in his business and then do some design together. And we did that for a few years. Simultaneously of that, I also went to other dance competitions. And I was able to meet other people that saw me competing, and then they asked me, hey, do you want to teach? So I had another friend, a brother called Ricardo Martinez, Latino, he's Mexican. One of my biggest inspirations here too, same as Vince and Gabe. Rico, he lives on Red Deer. And he offers me one day after a competition in the bathroom. It's like, hey, I just saw you competing. I'm like, what's your name? It's like, my name is Eller. It's like, nice to meet you. And then he's like, hey, I own a studio on Red Deer and I would love to have you there teaching the kids. And I'm like, what? So we talk about it and we made it happen. And in that time I was working construction, serving on weddings, all this crazy 4 different things, trying to keep my graphic design flourishing, and now starting my first pathway into teaching. So I took on the offer of Rico of going to Red Deer, and we start 1 class every Monday. Then that class turned into 3 classes a week. And then eventually I was just coming like to Calgary like every Thursday to keep working my other things, construction, serving, and design.
You were coming to Calgary?
Yeah, because I was staying there, teaching a few classes, then coming back.
You were living in Red Deer?
Well, I was staying at my buddy's, at Rico's place to be able to teach more and then lean into the other purposes versus having to depend on the hustle of, okay, I need to work on serving, or I need to do dabble on the trades of carpentry, so I can start working on some other things, right?
Right.
So also shout out to the family of my ex-wife, because they also hired me to work construction too. So in terms of like impact and getting into the community is also, I feel that the understanding your gifts and being able to blindly, just blindly have the hope that your gifts are meant to serve. And if you put yourself in a position where you're meant to serve, everything else will align. It will manifest either physically, it can also financially too.
Right.
Because you are meant to be doing what you need to do.
Absolutely.
Yes, I feel that the price to pay is the consistency.
Right.
Because to be able to like move from a country to another one and then trying to be you is something that maybe the dimension that you open, like that new universe that you open, you feel that you need to do what usually is Calgary lifestyle to be able to understand it. But then because you have other gifts, if you decide to nurture them, then that pathway, it needs consistency because nobody know you before doing that.
True.
So yeah, I work with my friend Gabe for a little bit with the beautiful work on terms of design with in his firm. He does from like UX, UI, app development, websites. So I was able to do branding for him for all these beautiful projects that they have. Um, and then simultaneously, I start to find my own little small clients on the side.
Right.
Also, some of my friends from the dance community also hire me to do some either posters, social media posts, or I'm just doing things to serve just for free, just because I want people to have a little bit of what I have.
Right.
And then teaching in the other side.
You mentioned XY.
Yes.
It has come up like a number of times now. So your beginning was two of you, right?
Yeah.
And then now it's just you.
Yes.
So what is the story in between those two milestones?
I think that, God put you people in your journey, either to keep going or either to learn a lesson. And our love make us grow in a way in which we cannot grow together anymore. Uh, so that we decide to bifurcate. I myself needed to learn lessons. I myself needed to heal parts of myself, of my past life, even with my parents too, that I thought that I didn't. And I also have this belief that we're here in this planet to evolve.
Right.
So when we are in positions where we cannot fully evolve either on your own, if you are with somebody that understands that you either evolve together or you either evolve on your own, I guess that's the principles of having a marriage.
Yeah.
So I now understand why a lot of our relationship things failed. And I also had a huge part on it too.
Yeah.
My attitude wasn't adequate. I needed to become more of a man too, and to make better choices. I also needed more boundaries. I needed a lot of stuff to be able to like manifest becoming a family man, or the version of the family man that I actually want to be.
Right.
And to be able to make a conscious decisions about going forward and learning those things on my own. Sometimes are part of your immigrating journey as well. It all depends on how much vulnerability you have to be able to sit down and talk about these things, either to keep going together or staying separated. But we had a beautiful relationship until that moment.
Right.
And we were able to like also bifurcate with love too, which is also that I will truly appreciate from her and her family.
If you were to do it again, would you go that route? Like, if there was one thing you could change about that experience?
I actually don't.
You don't?
I think that, like, I think that the lessons that we could not fully learn are meant for a reason.
Mm.
Either we are not connected to God in a way that we are actually listening and putting Him first, or we have moved into prioritizing other things that are not peace. And all these things happens over and over in your life until you prioritize these things. That means that you are meeting yourself in a deeper matter.
Mm.
Without having these hardships, you cannot fully arrive to the realization that there's growth that needs to happen.
Mm.
And things that will change, if I will change things, it's like my approach to things, my responses to things, my attitude into things. Those things, yes, I will definitely try to be better on that sense. Because sometimes, like, you don't bring the best of yourself when you are in difficult situations, right? Like you allow reaction and
There's a lot of emotions.
yeah, those things. Yes, I will definitely change those things.
Right.
The way we meet each other, the purpose that we needed to embrace being together, the lessons. I wouldn't change a thing because I believe that God gives you people in this life to learn things until you have learned enough, and then there's one big lesson that will stay.
I think we'll take it on a lighter note now. At this point, we're going to test your knowledge.
Okay. Damn.
We're going to test what you actually say you know, and if you're really who you say you are.
Hey, it's okay. I believe on being vulnerable if I don't know everything. So
yeah. No, we're just on a lighter note. Don't worry, we don't keep score. That's a good thing. We don't have a board. We don't keep scores. It's all for fun.
Okay.
But you know about creative differences.
Yes.
So you've been there. You saw it happen. So we're just adding like that light, element into our very intense, sometimes intense conversations. I'm going to give you a bit of background. So when I was preparing my questions, I was like, this guy is a designer, he's a dancer, he's an artist, he's a culture custodian, but I want to see two aspects of his work where I can test him. So I singled out graphic design and design practice.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't really bringing dancing questions because I'm like, I don't even know much about dancing. So I need to kind of be able to relate to the questions I ask. But anyway, I'm going to throw you questions from those two categories.
Sounds good.
Okay. So which one do you want to start with actually? Let me give you that choice.
Design practice.
Oh, you want design practice? Great. I'm already there. Okay, so my first question is, before starting a project, what foundational document does a client provide to outline the goals, target audience, and project requirements? Is it a pitch deck?
Mm-hmm.
B, is it a creative brief?
Mm-hmm.
C, is it a press release?
B.
B? What's B?
Create a brief.
Creative brief. All right. That's correct. You see, I helped you because.
Good, thank you. I appreciate that.
I helped you because that one, you were right.
No, it happens that sometimes when you're in advertising places, we have to help the client to make
generate
the
brief. Right. I know. Sometimes the client don't know exactly how to express. But I get you. I got you. What is the term for a short summary of who you are and what you do, which is used to spark interest from a potential client?
Caballo?
What's that? No.
What it is?
It's an elevator pitch.
An elevator pitch.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes, they say nail your elevator pitch before
you can. Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
But you can also do an elevator pitch for you as a business.
Yeah, you can do it as a business.
Somebody asks you, like you already have your.
Yes, you just have it like locked in.
Okay.
My name is this. This is what I do.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, failed that one. That's okay. That's on me.
Well, we're already just climbing up now. So, okay. Third question. Are you still willing to stay in this section?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I feel like we'll do like 3
It's fun.
and then move to graphic design so
Sounds
that
good.
we have a bit of balance. What is the legal term for the exclusive assignable right to reproduce, distribute, and display a creative work?
Copyright.
Oh, that was fast. You are angry.
Malewa.
Bueno. You speak Spanish, eh?
I do.
Oh, okay. Muy bueno. Okay, I said I was going to move to design, but I feel like I want to ask you one more in this.
You let me know. You are the master
I
of the
did not
questions.
see that last one. When you came at me like, phew, like you were so fast. In a contract, what clause legally prevents a freelancer from working for a client's direct rival for a certain period of time?
Oh man.
Should I help you?
It's like
Do
a
you want
conflict
options?
of interest.
Yes, something like that. So,
Well,
do
what's
you
the name
need
of the
help?
clause? I do need help.
You do need help. Okay, let me give you options. Option A, work for hire. Option B, non-disclosure clause. Option C, non-compete clause. Option D, exclusivity waiver.
B.
C or C
Mm-hmm.
or C?
Non-compete.
Non-compete what? Yeah, you were right. That will help you. Non-compete clause.
Non-compete.
That was correct.
Because thank you, bro.
That was correct.
Yeah,
You
exclusivity.
see, I helped you.
Exclusivity is more like thank you, bro. Because I was like, how do you call that?
Yeah, it's called a non-compete clause.
Non-compete clause.
All right, let's go quickly to graphic design. I feel like you have a bit more fun on that side. First question from graphic design. What is the name of the tool used to pick a color from an image?
Oh, the bucket. The bucket. No, to
No.
pick a color.
Yeah, to pick a color is never the bucket.
Oh yes, it's not bucket. It's the drop of the eye. No, that's the eyedropper. No.
It's the eyedropper. You actually
Eyedropper.
got it, but you missed it in the
Yeah, that's
in the
okay.
first one.
That's on me, on my belt. I miss an easy one.
That was easy. I thought you were
know.
gonna get it like bucket. What?
I was too hungry.
You were
I
too
need
hungry.
to chill.
You have to chill. Okay. Third one. This one is fun. This font is the world's famous neutral Swiss font. What font is that?
Most neutral Swiss font.
Yep. 5, 4.
Helvetica.
Helvetica. That's correct. This man knows his onions. He knows his onions. I like a designer that knows their onions. Helvetica. Nice. I was going to ask you to first even name what are the Swiss fonts, but you saved it. So great catch. Okay. And then the next one, the fourth one for you in graphic design. I think we'll wrap it up with this one. This one caused a lot of controversy in one of my sessions, so I'm going to ask it in a different way this time. What is the term for the part of a letter that extends below the baseline?
Descender.
Man, did this guy see my questions?
Is that like the little
This guy saw my questions.
the
Man, you
rabbits.
got it, man.
habits? We try.
This guy got almost all my questions. Who is this guy? He's gotten the highest so far.
We try.
What?
We try. Thank you, bro.
Wow.
We try.
I stand. I stand a designer that knows their onions. Okay, so we've come to the end of the game, the trivia. So that was a good one. I think one thing you said that I really want to touch on or just emphasize is that sometimes it feels as if as an artist, there's kind of like a trade-off or like you have to kind of be in a negotiation with your craft and sometimes having something else as something that you're really attached to, like your
It is
family,
wild.
right? Like you mentioned something at the end, like you went locked in, right? Like it's almost impossible to lock in as a married person in a way because it's like people saying that they can multitask. I mean, like multitasking is not even real because your brain is not operating at full efficiency doing two things. You can only focus on one thing at the same time.
Yeah.
So in that same analogy for me, is like as a human being who has a commitment to your family, and then as an artist who has full commitment to your craft.
Mhm.
Now you have a craft that is so demanding, like dance. I can't even imagine the number of hours that you spend doing like dancing rehearsals and whatever. But I feel like we as artists always kind of have to like keep negotiating that balance. Like, what's more important today? Like, do I need to do more work right now? Do I need to stay with my family to, to be present? Like, it feels like there's always that constant negotiation.
It is.
Right.
It is interesting balancing.
Yeah.
I also think when it comes to relationship, it's like when you are in an environment where you kinda like the family that you're trying to make.
Yeah.
You're able to put these systems because you understand the lifestyle of that of what's happening inside the household.
Mm.
When a dynamic of a team understands their purposes and how they are gonna end up elevating, escalating these gifts that are being given to you,
Yeah.
if that's where your heart goes,
Yeah.
is key to put systems on place. Is key to stop going to places that doesn't serve the growth of that until there's a system already on place that can allow you to now be for others because you put yourself first.
Mm.
And I feel that as an artist, that's one of the hardest lessons to learn. Because I had 9 to 5s. I had a lot of 9 to 5s in my life.
Mm.
But also the fact that sometimes we don't know when we're in survival mode. So sometimes when you grow up with hardships and we haven't healed enough things on our life that allow us to be the best version of ourselves, we're still on survival mode. And then we make choices based on being on survival mode, which is either pleasing, either spending too much money that you needed to put that on your systems of life, your savings, your investments. Mostly when you have an entrepreneurial soul. So a mistake that I did as a lead was to blow everything. I just blow everything because I just wanted to give.
Yeah.
And then being able to like, okay, now I gotta figure out how to like do this artist your life. How I'm gonna do this if I'm always on zero. So part of my lesson to learn is that as a man, I could not do that. And I needed to reconstruct myself to be able to understand if I'm going to dive into these purposes, how can I dive into these purposes without being on survival mode? The process of immigration for everybody is different depending on how they came to Canada.
Absolutely.
It's longer for some people. It's shorter for some people.
Yeah.
And depending on the connections you make and the connections you make, the work that you do, all that is shaping the experience of you in Calgary, right?
Absolutely.
So if we circle back to the question that you all asked me way back about like that if people in Calgary are warm, I think that depending on the circle that you are and how do you arrive to Calgary, you get to experience that from different glasses.
Right.
So as an immigrant kid or immigrant person, that let's say that you're segmenting yourself to stick, let's say within your own community. I'm gonna put it like this.
Yeah.
Let's say that I'm Panamanian and I arrived to Canada and I just wanna meet the Panamanian dudes, which I already know that probably I just know like 3 people, but I come and I wanna meet my Latino people because I'm scared to talk English, but because I'm already know that that's part of my like a limiting self-belief.
Right.
I stick around that sector.
Could you speak English before you came?
Yes, but not as fluently as I am.
Right.
And I was dabbling hard until I came here and I was thrown into this.
Right.
But if I was that type of person that just like, okay, I just want to be around my Latino people in Calgary, I will have experiences based on that. And then when I want to integrate into like the overall thing, yes. Like I want to meet my Irish people. I want to meet my Norwegian people. I want to meet my Ukrainian people. I want to like I want to meet my Nigerian people. I want, everybody.
Yeah.
Then you get to experience even more. And then you get to learn even more about where you are in the city too.
Yeah.
So I think that part of this mindset of understanding when you come that there's limiting beliefs that you gotta expand. It also tailors your experience on the city. And then it makes you see if there's welcoming people that are not from your own culture. Because eventually you're gonna find even unwelcoming people from your own culture.
Absolutely.
So when we talk about the city, if you're a person that you embrace the city and the overall, then you're able to like understand where you are.
Right.
It's like learning history, right? Like you read a book about history, it teaches you about the past, then you know where you're going in the future. It happens the same when you immigrate and you move. If you stay under a rock, that's the experience that you're gonna get.
I'll lock that in. Okay. So agree. Wow. We've had a lot to say. We've had a lot to say. Okay, so we're wrapping up. In our usual fashion, we would ask 2 questions that wrap up the episode. Number 1 is, what does being a hungry creative mean to you? First of all, do you consider yourself a hungry creative?
Yes, I am.
Okay. What does it mean to you if you are?
First of all, thank you for having me over.
Sure.
I think that it resonates with me. Your passion resonates with me. A hungry creative for me is a person that you're a little bit relentless. You are okay by being challenging the status quo because you know who you are, and you know that the gifts that you have are meant to serve a purpose, and you won't stop until they serve them. And that will have to lead you into introspection, self-development to be able to serve even better. You also have to be able to don't be attached to failure. Gotta be okay by it. To be able to then slowly be able to be on rooms in which you can magnify your purpose. You gotta be able to know how to fail. Being hungry also is staying devoted with the things that are your core values and that are attached to your gift. You can have a gift, but you don't have the devotion to nurture it, then you want to end up serving. So, and that's the difference in between being disciplined and devoted. Like when you're devoted, you're doing it because you love to do it. When you're disciplined, you're forcing yourself to do something until you end up then being devoted. So you gotta be devoted to the lifestyle of what that purpose or craft means or is. Yeah, and then just also have fun on the journey, because to be able to serve, there's moments in which you're gonna be hungry and you're not gonna have everything. And
You're hungry in your belly.
like literally hungry
in your belly.
Yeah, like literally hungry. And then
those that again.
And those moments when you're literally hungry are the moments in which you can either complain and be negative about where you are at the moment, or where you pivot and then sit down and nurture your gift until you can be fed, either from energy or food or an experience. So you're basically like, staying hungry to feed your soul to what makes you feel really good when you do what you do.
Like it. The last one is, what are you doing to be a better version of yourself?
I am, of course, reading the master book, God's book, Bible, get my inner peace all day, and trying to understand where I'm going when I have no clue of where I'm gonna go. Because the life of an artist is like that, like you don't know fully the path.
You don't. You never.
As an entrepreneur, as an artist,
never know.
It's hard to know. You are doing that one step at a time, or he's holding you in his back. And that's one thing. Another thing is like reading other books, like reading business books,
Right.
because that's something that I actually had a hard time understanding. I have a very hard time understanding how to tap into my financial knowledge. So that's something that I'm learning.
Mm.
Um, how to also be more um, energetic or magnetic. Like how do you dream bigger than where you come from?
Mm.
Uh, so that's another thing that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to learn and read and listen to things that are either from other people that did amazing things and how their lives inspire me to also stand strong and tall uh, with the purpose on this and how I want to serve. Um, keeping my body healthy uh, in terms of keeping my skill chart either from my design skills and my people skills and being able to be more vulnerable. I think that vulnerability goes a long way
Mm.
when you know yourself and then you're able to understand when you either need forgiveness or you're wrong, and where somebody else is towards to you, that patience. So I'm practicing that a lot in my life too, being grateful
Mm.
about the things that I have and the things that I don't have,
Mm.
the things that I could not have, because they are all meant to be part of the pathway and the purpose. Also, same thing, the people that I don't have anymore. Uh, I'm also trying to just share a little bit of my story. So thank you for having me over,
Pleasure.
because those are stories that sometimes when I'm either with youth or with my dance students, or sometimes just with my clients talking about business and how their purpose of how their business started, me doing branding and then my story,
Yeah.
it kind of like overlaps and connects and create a bond.
Yeah.
Sometimes this story stays also under a rock.
Mm. Yeah.
So another thing that I'm practicing is to be more out there.
Right.
And you inviting me to this is just means a lot because I was very scared about like sharing my story in bigger ways. Being thankful that I can do it on small ways, but depending on where God wants me to be or the rules want me to be, I think that taking this fear away was a very big milestone for me today. And that's another thing that I'm practicing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. I mean, it's so easy for me to have sessions like this because I can meet you halfway as a creative doing work similar to, I mean, I don't dance, but as creatives, we have similar lens. So it's also a way for helping me as well. So you're helping me as well by being here. So thank you.
Anytime. Thank
Right.
you. Thank you. Thank you guys too.
Yeah.